When we think about Indians living abroad, countries like America, Canada, Britain usually comes to the mind first, right? But have you ever wondered where most Indian children are actually being born outside India? Or which country now has the youngest Indian community? Well, a new report released through India's civil registration system provides a fascinating glimpse into the lives of Indians who are living across the globe. In fact, the data recovers births and deaths registered by the Indian missions in more than 140 countries, and it reveals something unexpected trends. The biggest surprise comes from the Gulf region here. The United Arab Emirates recorded the highest number of births among Indian nationals living overseas. Thousands of Indian families are choosing to build their lives over there, reflecting the country's continued popularity among young professionals and the skilled workers. In fact, the United Kingdom also recorded a large number of births, showing that more young Indian families are settling over there. After that, countries like Germany, Italy, and Australia are also seeing a growing Indian community as professionals and students continue moving to Europe and the Indo-Pacific region. And yes, then comes the most surprising finding here. The United States recorded far more deaths than births among Indian nationals. Now, at first, that sounds alarming, right? But the explanation, it is actually quite simple here. Children born in America, they automatically receive US citizenship under existing birthright citizenship law. And because of that, many parents do not register them as Indian nationals with Indian missions. On the other hand, deaths of Indian citizens are more likely to be registered for legal and consular purposes here. So here the number do not necessarily mean that fewer Indian babies are being born in America. They simply reflect different citizenship and registration system here. But still, what the report tells us something very important here. Well, the Indian diaspora is definitely changing. Different regions now attract different kind of migrants. The Gulf continues attracting young workers and families. In fact, Europe is becoming increasingly popular among the professionals here. In the meantime, Australia is seeing steady growth. America remains home to one of the world's most successful Indian communities. But immigration rule, green card backlog, and changing visa policies, that is making life much more complicated for many families. Experts believe that these trends will continue evolving over the coming years as global economies compete for skilled workers. Ladies and gentlemen, the report also reminds us that the Indian community has become truly global. Today, Indians are contributing to economies across every single continent. Well, they are doctors, they are scientists, they are entrepreneurs, teachers, engineers. In fact, they are leading researchers as well. No matter where they live, their connection to India, that remains extremely strong. But yes, for some Indians who are already living in America, even having an American-born child, it does not solve every immigration problem.